Hey everyone, and welcome to the world's smallest podcast studio build. I'm going to be building a 1.8 metre by 1.8 metre sound quality podcast studio for less than £250 for my podcast, The DIY Guys. I'm going to be doing it by using reclaimed timber such as this for less than £3, acoustic panels that I've found to make it sound studio quality, and I'm going to be documenting the whole thing, so let's get going. Welcome back to the most random thing I've ever done, and welcome back to my new podcast studio. Hopefully you can tell the sound is much better due to these acoustic panels here from AudioSilk and also these slatted acoustic panels here from British Homes Direct. I will be taking you on a little tour in a second and letting you know where I've got everything and for how much, but I did bring everything in for under £250, £248 in fact, which to some of you might sound a mad amount of money for turning your garage into a weird podcast studio and something that you might not want to replicate at home. But if you do want to replicate it at home, I'll go through everything now. I built this out of all reclaimed timber from a company called D2D Timber, and I got it 30 lengths of 1.8 4x2 for only £90, including delivery. And that's because it's been used on another job clearly, so they're selling it cheap just to get rid of it. And it all came 1.8 metre lengths, which means I didn't have to cut a single bit of timber. I just stitched it all together. Concrete screws in the floor, concrete screws against this wall here to make it a bit more solid, and then everything else was 100mm screws, just stitching it all together nicely. I thought that was a really good start. £90 for all the timber for this ridiculous project I'm doing for my podcast, The DIY Guys. And then I was like, I want to finish it nicely, and the most important thing is the sound. We've been filming our podcast in my kitchen and in the living room, trying to get the best sound, and we've had echoes, and we've had when we're laughing or something, it sort of crosses over into each other's mics and things like that. And we've now filmed a couple of episodes in here, and we've got a little decibel thing on our phone, and not only the decibels come right down, there's no echo, we're using no echo removal software. It's been brilliant, and the reason is mostly because of these acoustic panels, sorry. So I left this here because to remind me, but these blue panels here are from a company called AudioSilk, and I highly recommend them. So I've done this whole wall with those and all on the ceiling for under £100, and they have really transformed the sound of this room by a long shot. They come in loads of different colours, as you can see. I think there's like yellow and orange, grey and blue. I chose the blue, it was quite neutral, and that's really helped. So that's from a company called AudioSilk, and that was just under £100. Then I've got these other slatted panels from a company called British Homes Direct. So they were £48, so they were half price off. So these have actually had a massive discount as well, so you might want to check those out, see if that's still running, if you are doing something mad like this. And then also these were half price as well, with quite a bit of shipping, but generally really good price, about £48 I think it was. And they have really transformed the look of the room. But I could have done the whole room in this and been really pleased with how it looks, but I'm also really pleased how these looks. These were 2.4 metre lengths that I've cut down to 1.8, and I actually managed to use the offcuts just to stitch together here. And even though it's quite crudely done, you can still sort of see how seamless it is, and that's stitching 6 together in that section, believe it or not, and I don't think it looks too bad considering. I've got the table and the chairs. So the chairs are from inside my house. Table was free from Facebook Marketplace. All the insulation was free from Facebook Marketplace, and I stole this sort of hardboard left over from another job from my builders who said it was fine to take. And I'm just going to put some sort of insulation in the door there. So yeah, I've brought everything in for £248. So if you're mad enough like me to try and do this yourself or replicate it in some way, I mean, these acoustic panels would be great if you've got like a kid who plays drums or musical in the garage, just to kind of help with the sound. And same with these, they're really beautiful slatted things, so I really recommend it. So that's D2D Timber for the reclaimed timber, that was about £90. Premium acoustic wall panels from this week from British Homes Direct, that was £48. And then AudioSilk acoustic panels here, and they go in multiple colours, that was just under £100 as well. And then my tat, which is, you know, £10 for this made me laugh, so I got that on, even put it wonky. Tall Thieves also makes me laugh. You can tell I've got a childish sense of humour. And then printed that at home, and then just put in a little LED light that's run all off an extension lead with a heater as well. And actually you can tell these panels are good as well, because you turn that heater on for 5 minutes, put something across the door, and this place is lovely and toasty for the whole hour we record. So for those of you that don't know about the podcast, my best friend Dan and I have been we've spoken to about 20 odd people who DIY themselves and put it all on social media, a bit like I've done over the years, just following their journeys. A lot of them are living in the renovations, doing it all themselves, and it takes years and years and years, so it's quite fascinating talking to everyone. And in between that, Dan and I are just doing our own episodes following my bungalow renovation, right, being super transparent and saying everything that's going on, good and bad, the money coming out. I've got a spreadsheet of all the costs on. So if you are doing a renovation at home, maybe you'll find it helpful, because I'm doing some work myself to save money, but also builders are building extension and doing lots of work themselves. So I've got like plumbers coming in, so I've got all these prices for you guys, and you might find it helpful. And if you wanted to listen to the podcast, we talk about it in more depth. And sometimes I'm really down about it, and sometimes I'm really happy about it. So you can follow the journey. But I hope you like my little room. It's the most random thing I've ever done. Some of you are probably going to say £250 is the most overpaid thing in the world. And some of you might like it. So let me know. And thanks for watching. And please listen to the DIY Guys podcast on Spotify or Apple, or over on my YouTube channel, Nick Morris Renovations.